for a fact, when the Steelers played in Denver earlier this year. Bronco captains.
Both Greenwood and Banaszak went on that game.
Banaszak out for the year. Bronco captains are Maples, Thompson, and Morton. Let's pick up the flip of the coin. Which Steelers have won the toss? All right. Pittsburgh winning the toss will receive and defend the north goal. The Broncos will be kicking off when we return to AFC playoff action in a minute on the Denver Bronco Network.
If you're tired of that feeling that there's nothing new in the world of new cars, then it's time you got that feeling only your Greater Denver Ford dealer can give you. That Futura feeling. That Futura feeling is a feeling of elegance, of years ahead styling. The feeling that comes with buying a car built with ideas of tomorrow, but realistically priced for today. Your Greater Denver Ford dealer's 1978 Futura gives you something else, too. Room and comfort for 5 passengers and engineered for today's kind of driving. So get that Futura feeling today at your Greater Denver Ford dealers. And while you're there, look over all his 1978 Fairmonts. Family-sized 2-door and 4-door sedans, a roomy station wagon, and the exciting new Futura. The Ford Fairmonts. They're America's most successful new car line based on the first 40 days sale of new nameplates.
See them all today at your Greater Denver Ford dealer. #1 in car and truck sales in the last 3 years.
75,000 folks getting to their feet right now as Jim Turner has the ball on the tee, and here's Bob.
That's interesting because it's usually Parent, and there is the kickoff coming toward the right side, taken at the 7-yard line by Jim Smith. He's over the 15, over the 20, a flag down as he is tackled by Randy Rich at the 25. But I believe I saw a flag upfield near the 30-yard line.
There is indeed a flag, and it is holding against the Steelers, is the preliminary indication.
The wind is really hard to read. At the airport, it has been blowing from the east, and we've watched airplanes landing that way through the day. Broncos take the penalty, and the Steelers will start from the 12. Here at the stadium, Larry, it just appears to be swirling from a variety of different directions.
Holding on the run back.
Yeah.
First down.
It's always been tough in this stadium, particularly now with the north end closed in. And I've been watching the flags up at the top of the goalposts, and it's very difficult to get a line on just what the wind is doing. But it is swirling around the stadium, so it can be a factor.
Stallworth wide left, Swan to the right side. Bradshaw the quarterback. Flyer, Franco Harris. It's a delay to Harris, and he's been at the line of scrimmage for virtually no gain. Got about a yard to the 13. Bob Swinson hit him first. And the important thing for Denver is that Randy Bradshaw is starting at middle linebacker. The ankle is not good, and we'll just have to find out how long and how effectively Bradshaw can play, but he's in there now.
Indeed he is. It was a big question mark all week. He had stretched ligaments in the Dallas game last week. Not too much swelling, and he was not able to work out much with the team, but he's in there now.
Steelers flopping around a little bit and hand the ball off to Harris, coming to the right side, to the 15, to the 16. Again, not much running room as the Steelers tried to come outside, and there's Bradshaw in on the tackle that time for the Broncos with Tom Jackson.
Good blocking on the play for Pittsburgh on that side, and that even makes it more remarkable. Ray Penny had a good block on Bradshaw. Randy fought him off and got over to make the tackle with Jackson. And Denver has him in just the situation they like him with 3rd down and about 6 to go.
3rd and 7 for the Steelers inside their 16 in Baltimore. They're in overtime. Sudden death tied 31-31. They'll play until there's a decision. Bradshaw with a flag in the backfield. Now running out of the pocket, and they've whistled the play dead. Illegal procedure on the Steelers, and the Steelers will get a 5-yard penalty back near the 10-yard line now. Ball inside the 11.
Number 79, false start, offense, 3rd down.
On right tackle Larry Brown, he obviously pulled out of the line or something too quickly, and illegal procedure whistled down, so now they have a 3rd down and more than 10 yards to go. The Steelers against the big Bronco defense.
They're using Brown as a tight end, Larry. That's what he is, of course, or was converted a tight end. Steelers with 3 wide receivers. On the 3rd down and 12, Bradshaw throws a screen to Harris at the 10. At the 15, trying to cut back. He's over the 20 and out near the 1st down.
Harris with a fine run on the screen to the right side, gets the ball near the 13-yard line where Alzado and Swenson have him. And from here it looks as if, yes, it is a first down Steelers as they move the ball out. On 3rd and 12, they pick up the first down, get close to 13 yards.
A big play for the Steelers on that 3rd down 12 situation, and Franco Harris, who was coming off to the right, had to cut back to the middle, and as big a guy as he is, that shows you the great versatility that he has.
Stallworth, left side. Swan, wide right. Grossman, tight end right. Blyer and Harris are the running backs. First down from the 23. Blyer starting to the right side. He's trying to turn the corner. Undercut by Thompson. He gets to the 24, close to the 25-yard line. Last week we saw the Dallas Cowboys trying to send Tony Dorsett outside against the Broncos, and he was spectacularly unsuccessful. He lost a lot of yardage. But the Steelers are coming back outside, maybe just trying to set some things up in the middle for Harris.
Indeed, that's the feeling that you get. They have come outside now on 3 occasions and have not gained very much, and they're all trying that right side of the line. Everything has gone right so far for the Steelers.
Gain of 2, second down 8 from the 25. Winner to play either Baltimore or Oakland on January 1. Draw to Harris. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain. And it was Randy Bradshaw who held his ground and made the tackle.
Fine play by Randy as the middle was definitely open, and Bradshaw was being tied up by John Kolb, but he fought off once again the block and gets over there to make the tackle, and Bradshaw has made 2 spectacular tackles already in this first series, so if there's any thought about that ankle slowing him down, it certainly hasn't yet.
3rd and 8. Steelers moved the ball earlier on a 3rd and 12. Swan right, Stallworth left, and Bradshaw back. Sets up at the 15, throws it up the near side, out of bounds. It was intended for Swan, who was completely covered by Wright, and the ball was over both of them and out of bounds, and the Steelers will have to punt. Upchurch going back for Denver, and upfield from him are Rich and Schultz, so Denver will not have a 10-man rush, but the Steelers have a new punter, Rick Ingalls, who came in after Bobby Walden was injured, and Ingalls kicked last week for a 33.8 average against San Diego. 4th and 8 from the 25. Snap back to Ingalls. Kicks it high. Fair catch signal from Upchurch. He cruises to his right and gets it at the 38-yard line. That's where the Broncos will start. Denver's first possession, scoreless with 11:16 to play in the first quarter. And meanwhile in Baltimore, the Raiders and the Colts pound away. 31-31 tie in overtime, and Larry, I think we would be reasonably safe to guess that there won't be 60-plus points scored in this game.
I would say that's true, Bob. It was 21-7 last time, and both of these teams come in with top defenses in the AFC, and I don't think that the game could go that way.
Keyworth is in the starting backfield. John Keyworth and Rob Lytle. The fake. Morton wants to throw on first down. The pass upfield for Moses. Got it out of bounds at the Steeler. Oh, they say caught it out of bounds at the Steeler 37. Jim Allen was back on coverage. Moses had him beaten along the near sidelines. He made the catch and out of bounds immediately at the 37, but it is called incomplete.
The only possible thing that he could have seen is that ball being bobbled a little bit. The play action fake to Lytle, buying a little time. Morton had excellent protection, however. Passing it down to Haven, who went high, juggled it just a little bit. Definitely both feet in bounds there. I don't know, it looked like it was good to me.
But now Denver has a 2nd and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Odoms moves out a step at the right, inside of Moses, Upchurch wide left. And it is to Lytle. Lytle to the 40, to the 41. Just trying to work his way up the right hash mark. And Steve Furness makes the tackle. The Steelers have made some changes. Mel Bluntz, who has had some problems, was listed as the starter up until just about a half hour ago when they said it would be Jimmy Allen. And L.C. Greenwood is playing some. He got back in last week against the Chargers.
Ernie Holmes has just gone out.
Now Robin Cole comes in because Denver has a 3rd down and a little over 7 yards to go from their own 41. They'll have to hurry to beat the snap count. They do. Morton is back. Throws quickly out of the backfield. Lytle makes the catch and is out of bounds. Then they say he coughed up the ball. It's all incomplete. It was short of the first down anyway. On the far side of the field, near the 43-yard line, Lytle was hit by Jack Lambert as he and the ball and Lambert all arrived at the sidelines at the same time. So Denver will have to punt the ball. And for the Broncos, Bucky Dilts, who had the 3rd best net punting average in the AFC, 7th in his gross yardage, 39.2, but his net yardage, 33.6, is back. The Steelers have 10 men at the line of scrimmage, and Jim Smith, who is the punt returner for the Steelers, is back at his own 15. Steelers didn't have a fair catch in regular season. Dilts kicks it high. Smith running up under the ball, drops it at the 21. He is picked up and tackled inside the 20. Smith bobbled the ball, picked it up immediately, and was hit by Godwin Turk by Lytle. And the Steelers will start from inside the 20-yard line, scoreless with 10:15 to play in the first quarter. And as soon as they get the yard markers set, the Steelers...
I think Smith really had trouble with that low sun, Bob. He did not really see that ball real well.
In Baltimore, the Raiders have the ball at the Colt 26 with a first down. Grossman shifts around to the right side. Steelers from their 18, scoreless in the first quarter. Blyer and Harris, the running backs. Pitches to Harris, heading left. He is across the 20, cuts up to the 25, maybe even the 26-yard line. Reuben Carter making the tackle. Some good blocking for Harris as he took off from the pitch out. And the pickup is good for 8 yards, second down and 2 for the Steelers.
I think we've seen one thing already from Denver offensively. They're not going to be afraid to gamble. Too often you get into a football game of this type and you become very conservative. But they were out throwing on first down. Unfortunately, it was not complete.
Second down, 2 for the Steelers. From the 26-yard line, Harris again, straight ahead, has the first down and brings the ball to the 29. Steelers pick up their second first down, and Lyle Alzado makes the tackle for Denver.
One thing you can bet on, they're not afraid to run Franco a lot. As we told you in our pregame remarks, he carried over 300 times this year, which is a new record for him in his career, and he has proven to be a durable back.
From the 29, first down Steelers. 9 minutes in the first quarter, no score. The fake, Bradshaw rolls to the right, throws upfield, looking for Swan, overthrows him at the Denver 35-yard line. Swan was trying to curl back inside on Lewis Wright. Bernard Jackson also coming over, and the pass is incomplete, leaving the Steelers now with a 2nd and 10.
Bradshaw picked up a Denver stunt. They had put Swenson right up on the line of scrimmage along with Rizzo and pulled Bradshaw back out at the last moment, and I think that Bradshaw caught that out of the corner of his eye, and rather than fading straight back, he did roll out to the right, away from where it appeared the pressure would come. So he had a lot of time. He just merely overthrew Swan.
They have ended the first overtime. We'll turn around and go the other way in Baltimore, but the Raiders have the ball at the Baltimore 13. 31-31 tie. Here it is scoreless. And on the handoff, it is Harris trying to go left on the trap. Gets a couple of yards out to the 33. And again, Larry, the Broncos were doing some stunning at the line of scrimmage defensively and stunted into that move. Tom Jackson and Lyle Alzado converge on the tackle. Now, the Steelers have a 3rd down and 7 at their 32-yard line. Stallworth left, Swan right. Grossman still the tight end, and Bradshaw back to pass, getting some blitz action, throws it short. It was intended for Stallworth, and there is a flag in the Pittsburgh backfield. The pass was intended on the far side of the field for Stallworth at around the Steeler 45. Now let's see what the flag is for in the Steeler backfield.
It was a late flag, Bob.
Holding. That may account for the action on Tom Jackson, who did a 360 as he was trying to blitz from the right side. He was turned completely.
Holding, decline, 4th down.
Sam Davis is called for holding. The Broncos decline it and force a 4th down.
Remember, Rick Upchurch returned 187 yards for a touchdown against the Steelers in the regular season game.
4th and 7 from the 32-yard line. Snap back to Engels. Blocked. The ball is bouncing around. Broncos have it at the 20-yard line to about the 17-yard line. Denver ball. The Broncos get the block on Engels and take over at the 17-yard line. First down, Denver. Evans coming up with a ball, but 4 Broncos came through.
Yes, they certainly did. Engels took his eye off him just for a moment, and I'm not too sure that he was in there. Schultz was right there. Schultz is the man who got to the ball. John Schultz blocks the punt.
At the 17, first down Denver. Both receivers wide right. The handoff is to Lytle, diving to the 13. Started to his right, came back behind the flow for a 4-yard gain. Stop is by Lambert at the 13-yard line. And Larry, the Broncos have to do in the playoffs what they did so well in the regular season, and that's take advantage of opportunities like this.
Indeed.
And get some points.
Special teams, remember I just told you, Upchurch had 187 yards against Pittsburgh last time. Well, this time they turn it around the other way, and they block the punt and get it down at the 17.
Moses and Upchurch to the right. Keyworth and Lytle. Still the running back, 2nd and 6. This time it is Lytle coming left, trying to cut back. He is at the 10 to inside the 10 near the 9-yard line, tackled by Steve Furness. They'll put it at the 10. So Denver will have 3rd down, 2.5 at the Steeler 10-yard line.
We understand, Bob, that Oakland has scored a touchdown pass to Casper, and that's it.
That's it. That's correct.
37 to 31.
37-31 is final.
So it'll be Oakland against the winner of this game next week. It will either be in Denver or in Pittsburgh. Oakland, the wild card team, cannot play at home.
Dalton and Moses for Denver. In the slot to the right side. 3rd down, 2.5 at the 10. To Lytle. Lytle back into the middle, and he may have the first down. He is inside the 7, and that's about where he needs to be. See where they spot it. Jack Lambert making the play. The Broncos keeping the ball on the ground after recovering the punt that was blocked by John Schultz. They want the chains.
Well, where they place the ball, Bob, it becomes questionable. It looked like it was inside the 7, but now they've marked it outside of the 7-yard line.
Stretch out the chain. It is short, Larry. Looks to be. Nope.
Nope, it is. First down. Couldn't be by more than an inch either way, but it is a 1st and goal to go.
When they got that final centimeter out of the chain, they had it. That's all, too. That's how much it was a first down.
That entirely changes the strategy because Denver would have had to seriously think about getting on the board first with a field goal.
Broncos 1st and goal at the Steelers 7, scoreless in the first quarter. Moses inside of Upchurch in the slot to the right side. The handoff is to Lytle again. Scoring! Rob Lytle up the middle for 7, and the Broncos lead the Steelers 6-0. John Keyworth with a big block.
Rob Lytle, a rookie from the University of Michigan, Denver's 2nd-round draft choice. About 7 games ago, got into the starting lineup when Otis Armstrong had some problems, and he has been starting ever since. And he scores the first touchdown ever for a Denver Bronco in playoff activity. Denver 6-0, and Jim Turner, a veteran of playoffs, 2 of them, and a Super Bowl with the New York Jets, will try to add the extra point.
Norris Weiss will hold. Ball is down. Turner's kick is good. There is a flag. Let's see what that's for before we go away. There is a flag on the play, but it appears to be on Pittsburgh.
Defense offside. Point good. We'll penalize on the kickoff.
6 minutes, 13 seconds to play in the first quarter at Mile High Stadium. Denver 7, Pittsburgh nothing, and a timeout on the Denver Bronco Network.
Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
It's a one-man fire rescue station 20 miles from nowhere. Kent McCord stars as the new marshal in the exciting Pine Canyon is Burning, Tuesday at 8/7 Central and Mountain Time.
I'm Jim Simpson with Merlin Olsen, and it is 7-0 the Broncos. Rick Engels, the new punter, had his kick blocked by John Schultz. It was recovered on the 17-yard line. 4 plays later, Rob Lytle took it in from 7 yards out, and it's 7-0. And again, the special team of Denver has done a job on Pittsburgh. They've got a long way to go. 6-13 first quarter. Short kick, and it'll bounce to be taken by Jim Smith at the 10. Smith across the 20, and that's about all. Randy Rich makes the stop. Now, for those of you just joining, let's watch Rob Lytle again.
There's a beautiful block by number 32, John Keyworth, right there, sealing it off the inside. It looked like number 52 sealing off Jack Lambert, and they just blew him open right down the center. That's 41 Lytle. Boy, you think he's not happy? 6 points.
It was all set up by this.
Here's the block punch. John Schultz coming from the left side. Rick Engels a little bit slow. Schultz up with beautiful timing to that point where you can block that ball and knock it back into the kicker's face.
Eddie Cunningham is coming as the tight end and running this way with Franco Harris, and Harris loses the football out of bounds, but they say he was down at the 28-yard line. And Denver, which started Chavis, Carter, and Alzado, is now coming with their alternate unit, Bryson Manor, John Grant, and Paul Smith. And again, let's go down the lineup. For Pittsburgh, Bradshaw is the quarterback, Dwyer and Harris the running back, Swan and Stallworth are the wide receivers. And the tight end was Randy Grossman, now Benny Cunningham. Rocky Dwyer, and Dwyer goes out to the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and short. And this is what Pittsburgh has been trying to do, and that is run right at Denver. They figure they've got to do that if they're going to win.
Here are the guys up front who are trying to open those holes. Number 55, John Cove. The left guard, Sam Davis, the veteran, the captain, 57. Mike Webster, the center. Some call him the best in the business. Jim Clack, 50, is the right guard. Right tackle, Larry Brown, the converted tight end.
Third down and a yard to go. 7-0 Denver. 4:45 to go. First quarter. Franco Harris, and Harris is backed up as he crosses the 30-yard line. And he's got the first down. Quickly, Gene Bart, the referee, signals first down. Bill Thompson, the strong side safety, came up to make the stop.
Here's the defense for the Broncos. Barney Chavis, number 79, the left end. 68, Reuben Carter on the nose. The right end will be number 77, Lyle Alzado. Linebackers, Bob Swenson, 51. 59, Joe Rizzo. 53, Randy Gradishar, who was not expected to play today. And Tom Jackson, number 57.
And we'll remind you that those first 3 up front are not in there now. Minor, Grant, and Smith are. Franco Harris trying to get outside. Fine play made on the far side by Bernard Jackson. Jackson, the free safety, came up to cut it down.
Barney Jackson showing you why they're so happy to have him here in Denver. Let's talk about the cornerback, Louis Wright, who's already made some great plays in this game. Steve Foley, he's the one they've been trying to pick on the last few weeks, but they think highly of him here. Bill Thompson, the veteran captain, strong safety. And number 29, Bernie Jackson. You just saw him making a great play on the right-hand side over there.
Second down and 9 to go. Whoever wins this ball game will play Baltimore. If Pittsburgh wins, they play at Baltimore. If Denver wins, I should say Oakland, they play Oakland. Look out, Harris has got the football across the 30-yard line. Oakland won today, so whoever wins today will be at home against Oakland. And now we've straightened out that conference.
We got that done. Randy Gradishar, number 53, playing on a badly injured ankle. You see him reacting well here, but I think it's bothering Gradishar. This is about the second time he's had dead sights on a ball carrier and just missed him. Franco Harris running right out of his grasp there, and I'll tell you, Randy Gradishar hasn't missed that kind of tackle many times during the year.
Third down and 6 to go. Swan and Stallworth, the wide receivers, have not caught a pass yet, and they're the men that Bradshaw usually goes to. He's got 3 wide receivers in there now. Bradshaw in a crowd, gets out of the crowd, gets by Swenson. Bradshaw got the first down at the 47-yard line. Terry Bradshaw picks up the first down.
They're blitzing Jackson from the right-hand side and trying to get a rush out of the 4 of them. Bradshaw back, cannot find a receiver open. Pittsburgh line doing a fine job. Bradshaw sees an opening, gets away from a slip tackle by by Jackson. That's Bob Swenson coming up, misses him. Excellent athlete. That Terry Bradshaw running like a halfback in there, Jeff.
First and 10, and this is the best field position the Steelers have had thus far today. Bradshaw to Franco Harris, and not much. Up top is Paul Smith. And we'll pick up who's down at the bottom. It looks like old Mr. Familiar, doesn't it? Randy Gradishar along with John Grant.
They're trying to trap in there. They really haven't had a chance to get going on their trapping today. And you can see the John Kolb, the tackle, coming across. They've run this play 4 or 5 times already. They're trapping on Gradishar, number 53, knowing that he's still hurt in there. They do an excellent job, though, of reacting. Everyone else comes in, and they shut that thing off clean.
Second down and 8 to go. 1:10 to go. First quarter. Chuck Noll looks on. His Steelers are happy to be here. The play action pass. Bradshaw throws. Hit a crowd. It's up in the air. And it's stopped. Bradshaw thought he was going to have the interception, but did not. The ball was intended to Stallworth, and believe me, you've heard the expression thrown into the middle of a crowd. Well, there's an example.
One of the things we talk about when we talk about this Denver team is their ability to swarm to the ball. Look how many orange-shirted defenders are right around the ball. Ball bounced up in the air. There must be 5 guys who have a chance. It's Gradishar finally, who's bumped just as he tries to get his hands on it. The ball goes to the ground. I'm sure Randy's very unhappy out there, Jim.
Well, I tell you, he fooled me. I didn't think he'd play today.
I didn't think he could walk watching him yesterday.
Third down. Bradshaw has time going long for Swan, and there's a mix-up there, I do believe. Well, Kelly was unloading the ball because Swan was heading in toward the middle, and Bradshaw simply threw the ball long.
I think Bradshaw saw the pressure coming in on him and just got it out of there. Knew he could get it deep, and no one would pick it off.
Oakland in overtime. In the early moments of the 6th quarter, defeated Baltimore today, 37-31. Oakland will play either Pittsburgh or Denver on New Year's Day. Ankles at it, last kick block gets this one away. It is Upchurch. Upchurch, who not going anywhere this time. 167 yards in the first game against Pittsburgh, which the Steelers lost 21-7. They've got 44 seconds to go. First quarter here in Denver, and it is the Broncos on a blocked kick. And then the run by Lytle has the lead 7-0.
I'm going in.
Why?
At least someone will know I tried.
I suggest we let Shockley drive right into the city. We clear the streets along his route, deploy our men, and create an impassable barrier. A gauntlet, if you will. He will have a chance.
The odds are 100-1 they won't make it, but they're willing to take that chance. Clint Eastwood, The Gauntlet, rated R. Now playing everywhere.
Sir, what's the hurry?
Oh, going to rent a car.
Oh, well, you don't have to run.
Gotta run.
Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk.
Walk.
Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car.
I don't have to run through airports?
Not with Avis.
I can walk through airports.
We try harder, Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
Exciting sports entertainment the entire family can enjoy. That's what you'll see on NBC's Sports World every Sunday afternoon, beginning January 22nd.
All kinds of football excitement today, but on January 22nd, Sports World will premiere. One of the things you'll see is a tug-of-war on the island of Jersey. I had a chance to not only do that, I want to be a part of it. I think you folks out there are going to find it interesting.
John Keyworth with his first run of the day gets across the 25-yard line, and they will have second down and short. There has been no drive by either team, but there has been a drive of 17 yards by the Broncos after they blocked the punt. Here's the Denver offense. Craig Morton, the MVP, number 7 quarterback. Lytle with that 7-yard run for the touchdown, a rookie. John Keyworth, who just carried the ball. The wide receivers, Moses and Dolvin. And excellent Riley Odoms, the tight end. Second down and about 3.5. They had Odoms in motion and Lytle carrying the ball for no gain, perhaps a half a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 3. And that was Ernie Holmes who made the stop along with Jack Lambert.
On the defensive side for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll have to wait on that. We're breaking away.
They have to wait because that's the end of the first quarter. Talk about Bronco-mania. You can hear it. And their team leads.
Hey, great-looking treads, Kathy.
Goodrich radial TAs, Moosey.
What are you doing?
Checking the air pressure. My Goodrich dealer says it's a good idea.
What for?
Well, if you don't have the right air pressure, the tires won't last as long. Goodrich makes a great tire.
Hey, come to the game, Kathy. I could get you a ride on the Goodrich blimp.
Goodrich doesn't have a blimp, Moosey.
Does that mean you won't come to the game?
Tires you can trust. B.F. Goodrich. The other guys.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Tomorrow we go back to civilization. And let's have a last night in the wilderness party.
Yeah, I've got just what we need.
So tonight...
Hey, Nolan Brown, you've been hiding that all week?
I was waiting for the right moment.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well, like the song says, here's to good friends.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
The new Dodge Diplomat Medallion, longer and wider than Chevy Monte Carlo. Dodge had style in mind. Velour upholstery and cut pile carpeting, we had luxury in mind. But you keep this in mind. Our two-door is $300 less than a comparable Monte Carlo Landau. Diplomat, another fine motor car from Dodge.
Dodge has put it all together. Dodge has got it all. Today's Dodge dealers got it all.
Steelers have outgained the Broncos, but that big box punt is the difference. 3rd down and 3 to go. Whoa. Wow, did Lytle take a hit? Woo! L.C. Greenwood is back.
That was L.C. putting a stick. They stunned on that side. L.C. just... Mean Joe Green coming to the outside. He handles both the blockers. L.C. comes in clean, and he makes Rob Lytle wish he'd never got a hold of that football. Unbelievable.
Our telecast today, presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience, and a rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the National Football League is prohibited. And there is Bucky Dilts, a rookie out of Georgia, who said he was more nervous before playing in the Sugar Bowl against Pittsburgh a year ago. Jim Smith at the 32-yard line. Smith gives Pittsburgh some good field position out near the 44-yard line. And a flag is down back at the 26-yard line. And it might be, and it is, an ineligible man downfield. Let's see whether or not the Steelers will ask that they kick it over again, or with the ball across their own 40. They're going to take the play, I would assume.
That's the best field position they've
Number
had to start all day.
Ineligible, downfield, on punt, refused, 1st down.
They're going to refuse that and let Terry Bradshaw and company take over. Well, we're just early in the 2nd quarter. And the score is 7-0. Denver. And can you believe this weather on a Christmas Eve afternoon?
One step closer. One step closer. One step closer. That's what Exxon people say. One step closer. At the end of every day, Exxon's dedicated to finding energy for you. Energy for a strong America.
America, it's still...
Yes. 1st down from the 44-yard line. Pittsburgh, they trail by 7. Bradshaw going for Swan, and does not have it. Right with him at the 25-yard line.
That's the 3rd big play of the day. On passes to Bradshaw, or from Bradshaw to Lynn Swan. And the Louis Wright, number 20, is the guy who's been there each time. Does an excellent job of reading the throw. Watch him as he cuts across just in front, stretches with that front hand. I think he didn't get to the ball, but neither did Lynn Swan.
It is 2nd down. 5 members of Denver made the Pro Bowl. All from defense. Alzado, Bradshaw, Jackson, that's Tom Jackson, the linebacker, Wright, and Thompson. None from their offense. second down 10. Franco Harris gets a yard or two, and that is all. And it's third and long. And Tom Jackson and Lyle Alzado were right there.
The defense for Denver is doing a lot of jumping around. On that particular play, Bob Swinton is probably the quickest linebacker in the league. Does a fine job of getting off Webster, the center, number 52, accelerating up into the hole to help shut that thing down for a very small gain. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
They have Chavis, Carter, and Alzado back in there as their front three. Both wide receivers to the right. Bradshaw, lots of time. Now running out of it. Now throws, has a man wide open. Cunningham. He doesn't know what to do with it. He falls down, and he was so by himself, he simply dropped the ball. But after he caught it, it's a first down. Now, fairness to Benning, he's had tonsillitis. He's been in the hospital and actually passed out on the plane coming out here. They expected him to play very little. He is woozy and looked to be a little woozy on that play.
He's got to be weak, but watch him here. He takes the pass. He's wide open. He broke away from coverage and drops the ball in the open field. Luckily, able to get his hands on it again. It's going to be 1st and 10, but they could have had a few more yards, I'm sure.
Steelers have moved into Denver territory for the first time. Swan to the right, Dalvin to the left. On first down from the 36, Harris with a hole this time. Picks up 3 or 4 yards down near the 31-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 5. An absolutely delightful afternoon. Snow in the Rockies, but not in Denver. Temperature at game time, 43 degrees. With a wind coming out of the east, not the west, at 9 miles per hour. And this town of Denver absolutely at a standstill for this game. Second down, they try to get Harris outside. He's got blockers behind Cole, and is knocked out of bounds, along with one of the yard linesmen. And he's a little shy, I believe, of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard to go.
One of the things that Pittsburgh said they were not going to try and do is to run wide on that 3-4 defense. But I think with Denver jumping their big man to the inside, they've had to change their strategy a little bit. They did run Franco to the outside for about a 3 or 4 yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and quite short. Let's see what Terry Bradshaw will do with this one.
Well, Red Miller's taking out Joe Rizzo, an inside linebacker, and putting in John Grant for 4 down linemen on 3rd down and short.
We've got an interesting situation. Cunningham has gone to the sideline. They sent Jerry Mullen, 72, in there. He'll be playing tight end along with Randy Grossman. And Ray Penny will be in there also on this short yardage situation.
They're loaded up on balance to the right. Ryer goes to the right, so does Michael Harris, and I don't think he got it. Davis is under all of that. Barney Chavis, number 79.
Barney Chavis got excellent penetration. Number 79, you can see it from ground level. See Chavis coming in from the other side. He's right deep in the backfield. Actually doesn't even give him a chance to make it, and he puts it down. It's going to be 4th and about a half a yard. Interesting decision for Chuck Noll.
Well, Franco Harris has already signaled to Chuck Noll, we're going for it, and Noll hasn't said anything different. So it's 4th down, less than a yard to go. 7-0, Denver, 11:23 in the half. Harris trying to get outside, 1st down and more. Inside the 20, inside the 15 goes Franco Harris. And Harris is a little shaken up. We understand we have some audio problems, but maybe you can hear Merlin Olsen talk about the run of Franco Harris.
Franco Harris getting outside, and as we told you earlier, Pittsburgh did not think they could get outside on this 34. But Franco Harris sure does it there behind some excellent blocking. That's 57, Sam Davis leading downfield for him. And that's Billy Thompson finally driving him out after a beautiful gain, beautiful run by the big back.
First down at the 13-yard line for the Steelers. Early on in the ball game, capacity crowd of more than 75,000, and most of them are wearing orange. But right now it is the Steelers who are threatening with both wide receivers to the left. They send Flower to the right as the flag goes down. Flower ducks inside the 10 and gets down to the 8 for a gain of 5. But the flag is down back on this side of the field at the 13-yard line.
Looked to me like Bradshaw took a quick step there.
Nope, they're saying that Denver's offside.
Well, maybe that's why Denver was offside. That's going to be costly down in there. Pick up 5 easy yards, and it'll be first and 5 down on about the 8-yard line, Jim.
First and 5 at the 8-yard line. And you have heard a lot about, and I'm sure the people in Denver, matter of fact, they delivered Orange Crush kits to our hotel room, which was a drink and a T-shirt saying Orange Crush and bumper tags. They've got telephones. One of the airlines in this area is painting one of its airplanes orange. And they're singing, I'm dreaming of an orange Christmas. Incredible. First down and 5 to go. Bradshaw back to throw on first and 5. Looks, fires it, he's got his man at the 1-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. Lynn Swan at the 1-yard line, tackled by Bill Thompson. First and goal to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You just can't give Terry Bradshaw this much time to throw. They're going with the 3-man rush. They hold him out of there. Bradshaw has time to wait and wait. Swan breaks loose, gets the ball, and they'll give him his forward progress on the 1-yard line. They're going to have 4 downs, actually from just inside the 2, to try and punch it in and even it up.
First and goal to go. Again, we will apologize. We know there's something wrong with the audio, and we're trying to clear it up. But you can watch. Flyer down close to the goal line, about the 1-yard line, and Bradshaw's down at the bottom of that stack again.
We talked earlier about the fact that Randy Bradshaw is playing hurt, and this is where Bradshaw is usually most effective in short yardage situations. Bradshaw again coming in tough to put Flyer down on the ground, finish off the tackle, and I'll tell you, that's a pretty courageous football player right there.
There is our score early in the 6th quarter. 2 extra quarters of overtime today. Oakland beat Baltimore. That's the other team in the American Football Conference Championship next Sunday. They hand the ball to Franco Harris. And the Steelers are saying touchdown, but the officials are not.
I don't think they're going to give it to him either. Franco went right into a whole mob of them.
It would be 3rd and not much at all.
And they're showing about a foot to go in there. That ball almost laid up against the end zone line. 3rd and about inches for that goal. Here's the play, the replay of that particular play. You can see how many red shirts on the inside, orange shirts, all over Franco Harris. And there it is.
3rd down. That's it. Bradshaw scores. For Terry, he has carried it in for his 4th touchdown of the year. And that was a drive that began way back on the 44-yard line. I say way back because that's the longest any team has driven in this ball game.
This is probably the surest and safest of all the short yardage plays. Bradshaw, finding out how tough that Orange Crush defense is on the ground, says, I'll get it over the top. Right up over the top, touchdown.
56-yard drive. A new holder now for Girella with Walden hurt. That is Neil Graff. And Girella's kick is up and is perfect. And with 9:01 to go in the first half, we have got a tie ball game on this Merry Christmas Eve in this AFC playoff game. Denver 7 and Pittsburgh 7.
You know what makes my jeans feel soft and comfortable? It's right here on this label. 100% cotton denim. The Lee Company knows how important 100% cotton denim is to jeans. And now they make them with a special process, so they won't shrink or wrinkle. So they stay looking neat. You see this label? Make sure you see it on your jeans. When you're looking at blue jeans, check the label. Make sure you're looking at 100% cotton denim.
Winning throughout the nation as Hertz the superstar. We got the winning combination. Super people, super cars. Making that extra effort to meet your special needs. Getting you in, getting you out with super speed. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
It's the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, featuring the powerful Michigan Wolverines versus the high-scoring Huskies of Washington, January 2nd on NBC.
Michigan in the Rose Bowl again. Washington there for the first time in years and years. That's a great first half of our doubleheader of bowl games on Monday the 2nd. We have John Schultz, 86, and Rick Upchurch, 80 deep, as Roy Girella will kick off.
Boy, that's high. Hanging it up deep and long.
That's Upchurch at the goal line. This man is dangerous. And down he goes. And a flag is thrown from about the 45-yard line, 20-some yards, down to about the 22.
I didn't know that officials could throw the flag that far, did you, Tim?
And it is holding charged against Denver. That is the second kickoff penalty for holding we've had. The first one came against Pittsburgh on the opening kickoff. And now Denver will have it marched back as Craig Morton comes in. There's the drive, climaxed by the 1-yard topple of Bradshaw over the line. When you speak of Craig Morton, you're talking about the offensive MVP, and you're talking about the catalyst of how the Denver Broncos have been turned around by Red Miller and Craig Morton. They say both names almost in the same breath.
And they do work as a team. Miller calling the plays from the sideline, but Morton having the option of rubbing off any play that he does not wish to run. In fact, as long as he has a good reason, he can take any play off either at the line or in the huddle.
Well, we have a couple of new running backs in there for the Broncos. Otis Armstrong, who's missed 4 games, and Jim Jensen, the big rugged fullback. Jensen is 30, Armstrong 24. Ball is up the 11-yard line, and this is Jim Jensen with the football. Gets a block from Otis Armstrong, but that's a fine play by J.T. Thomas, who played off the block of Armstrong and made the stop. And as Jensen goes back, let's pause for a moment to... Marilyn, we'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody, but we would like to especially congratulate KTSB TV Topeka, Kansas. It is their 10th anniversary of serving their community as an NBC affiliate. The ball is at the 16-yard line. Second down, and that's our cameraman, believe it or not. Roger Harbaugh.
Little Christmas on the sideline.
There goes Otis Armstrong carrying for the first time in a month. And he does not get much, does he? Near the 17-yard line. Third down and more than 3 to go. Dwight White and Jack Lambert made the tackle.
Lambert, of course, one of the quickest linebackers around. I'll tell you an interesting sight out there. Maybe we can get a shot of those gold shoes on number 68, L.C. Greenwood. And I can tell you this, there are a lot of fans around the country, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, glad to see that pair of gold shoes back in the lineup.
Well, he got hurt in the Denver game 7 weeks ago. 8:13 to go. First half, it's 7 all. And it is third down. And 3 to go. And Morton's going to throw for the 3, apparently. Puts it to Jensen. Jensen probably has the first down at the 21-yard line. He's to the 21, which is where they mark it. He's got the first down. Jensen makes only his 5th catch of the year, but it's the big one.
Excellent play selection. They're running the linebackers out deep. They're getting some stunning on the inside, and I tell you this, it's a good thing that Jensen's as big as he is. He never would have been able to pull for that first down.
These two teams met once before, remember. It was 21-7. Rick Upchurch was the star of that one with all his return yards. And in that ball game, Pittsburgh turned the ball over many times. Craig Morton on first down, going, and the ball is tipped. And almost kicked out of the air by Haven Motion. Now, once the ball is tipped, there's no pass interference. They're both going for the ball.
Excellent pressure on Craig Morton on this play. They're stunning on the inside. Joe Green going around Steve Burnett. Gets the ball up. Looked like it might have been caught had the ball not been batted away. But that's excellent defense from the Steelers side.
Ham got a hand on the ball, and that made it every man for himself as it bounced crazily in the air, and Moses couldn't hold on to it.
These Pittsburgh linebackers among the most active in football, and certainly Jack Ham has to be as good as any in the business.
Second down and 10 from the 21. Otis Armstrong goes down as a couple of flags go down. Pittsburgh, we told you, lost 21-7, but the Steelers and their fans will tell you that they always play a little bit better the second time around against the ball club. Offside will be charged against the Steelers.
It looked like Dwight White jumped down to the inside and lined up offside on that particular play.
Well, as they mark it off, let us take time out to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Number 64, the encroachment, second down.
Steve Furness, they say.
That was Steve Furness, says you guessed wrong there.
I guessed wrong. Here's something I don't have to guess about. If you think that doesn't look exactly like the Franco Harris you know, you're right. He's without his beard. Made a wager with the equipment man. He lost the wager. Actually won the wager. He said, if we go to the playoffs, I'm going to take the beard off.
This is Riley Odoms, and a tackle is made on Odoms by J.T. Thomas. Very close to the first down, and they may have the first down and do have the first down.
Greg Morton back. He's got time to get that pass off, and Morton always has been an excellent thrower. And, of course, Riley Odoms probably has one of the great tight end receivers in the game of football.
37 catches before today. I don't think that Franco Harris really lost the bet. I think Tony Parisi did, and I'll tell you that story. There goes Otis Armstrong, and Furness has him. The bet was that Cincinnati would not lose to Houston, and if they did, Harris would shave off his beard, which he did. But the equipment man, Tony Parisi, had to, as his part of the bet, shave off his head. And I mean shave the hair off his head.
And he does look bad. He does look bad. I saw him in the locker room yesterday, and again, he told me, though, that Franco, he never did know that Franco's jaw was as wide as it is. He hasn't been able to see it since the 1974 Super Bowl.
Second down and 10. Morton brings it out into Odoms, and look who's on him. There's a struggle with the Titanic, isn't it? There's Jack Lambert is in there, and Jack Ham, and Ham is the man that tried to muscle him out.
Jack Ham had his hands full with big Riley Odoms. That's a little tight end screen to the big tight end. And Jack Ham was not fooled at all. Odoms watching him there, knows he's not fooled, knows he's going to have his hands full when he gets that ball. But watch big Riley just power toward the sideline, dragging number 59, Jack Ham, with him. Finally gets to the sideline, manages to make it almost back to the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 13, the ball on the 30-yard line. We've got a tie score, 6:22 to go in the first half. And Greg Morton goes back to throw to Haven Moses if he can get him, and cannot get him at the 43-yard line, and they'll have to kick the ball away. Moments ago, you saw that flasher on the screen that said that Oakland has beaten Baltimore early in the 6th quarter. They played with no score through the 5th quarter, the first of overtime, and then Stabler found Casper again. That was a big combination today, and they won it 37-31. Being the wild card, Oakland cannot play at home. They will either play here in Denver or at Pittsburgh a week from today. And this game is up for grabs. Here's Bucky Dilts. And Jim Smith is deep, standing inside his own 30. Flag goes down as the ball is kicked very short and gets out only to midfield, but the flag went down.
That's Cousineau, I think, number 60, Jim, that jumped off sides on the inside to give the officials a chance to call it. But it looked like he guessed on the count trying to block that thing and zipped right in there. And that's Norris Weeks, number 14, coming off hobbled after trying to pick somebody up at the up back in there. They're going to have to change somebody in there to protect that punter.
Norris Weeks also, of course, is the holder for extra points. There you can see what
there happened. It is on the inside. It is Cousineau, number 60, who is offside. Weeks, by the way, they'll miss not having him in there. He ran for a big gain out of that punt formation against San Diego 2 weeks ago. And it was Weiss, who's also the holder on the field goals, who threw that big touchdown pass early in the year against Oakland to none other than Jimmy Turner.
Fourth down now, and about 7 to go. Dilts gets another high kick away. Smith, no fair catch, then calls for one all year, and down he goes inside the 35. The marker is the 34-yard line. This is like, after seeing the Baltimore game with Oakland today, I didn't think we could have one as good, but we do. 5:58 to go. We're in the half, and you guessed it, it's all tied up. Denver 7 and Pittsburgh 7.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
Sports World. It's like nothing you've ever seen before.
Speaking of Sports World, you can't help but wonder what kind of show is this going to be with my good friend Jim Simpson in the tub there, talking to one of the skiing racers and an unidentified party.
That's Joseph Odermatt. The girl's name is Cindy, and that's doing the pro skiing in Aspen, Colorado, and that's what we call getting involved with events.
Getting right in there.
First down from the 34-yard line. Rocky Flyer, and Flyer picks up 5 yards.
One of the
out there to the 39.
Excuse me, Jim. One of the big battles in that line of scrimmage is between Webster and Reuben Carter, the nose man. And early in the game, Carter has been taking the worst of the battle. Webster, I think, one of the finest blocking centers in football. You can see him moving Carter right out of there, getting the angle on him and driving him down the field. And they got to shore up the middle if they're going to keep Pittsburgh from both moving that football.
Second down and 5 from the 39. Bradshaw taking it outside himself. This is the planned play and gets near the first down. They'll mark it at the 44-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down. Run out of bounds by Bob Swinson, the left outside linebacker on the far side. Now they're bringing the ball back in and marking it at the 43, and that's not going to be enough.
It looks like they're just a little short of it, but for those who thought that Terry Bradshaw was hurt, certainly he disproved that today, running the ball very effectively, getting a touchdown over the top, and now taking off on a prearranged rollout to the outside.
Well, he has been hurt. We all know that broken left wrist early on in the season, and then the sprained neck suffered last week. Third down and short yardage, and they're bringing in Mullins and all the short yardage folks, but Denver's done an excellent job on short yardage formations. They load him up again to the right. That's the way that Harris has been going. This time he comes to the left, and he's got it out to the 45-yard line. First down for the Steelers. They loaded it up to the right and went to the left. Randy Podol is in there now. Foley is out. Jackson has moved to a cornerback spot.
One of the biggest, most powerful backs in football, Franco Harris, and he just puts his head down, and he's going to drive it all the way in. Excellent block in there to spring him on Randy Bradshaw. Probably one of the other backs coming up inside. I couldn't tell who it was. Probably had to be Rocky Flyer, number 20.
First down. Remember, Bernard Jackson is filling in for Foley at the right cornerback spot, and Randy Podol has gone in as his free safety. Oh, my, what a hit by Cunningham, and it's down. Ball is loose and intended by Denver, but they're saying no, it's an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
And Cunningham is hurt, it looks like.
Vaughn is leading the cheers.
I think he's pointing that Cunningham is hurt. He was waving for the trainer. Let's give you another look at it. Bradshaw back, has time to throw. Cunningham is wide open, but watch the shot he takes right there. Ooh.
The ball is jumping around there.
That's Tom Jackson, number 57, who hit him. Bradshaw comes in and finishes it off. The official simply said he did not have control of it, and he's still down on the field. Boy, he took a pop.
It has been a tough, there's Tom Jackson, one of the Pro Bowlers. It's been a tough week for Benny Cunningham. A second-year man out of Clemson, hospitalized with tonsillitis, fainted on the plane, wasn't expected to play much today at all. Did not make that catch. It's second down and 10. And he is still down. At halftime today, we have NFL 77. And we'll have interviews with Ken Stabler and Dave Casper. If the names are familiar, you know that they're the ones who won it for Oakland today in overtime, and also put some points on the board during the regulation game. And of course, we'll have action highlights of this game, Pittsburgh and Denver. Cunningham is still down and out at the 47-yard line.
Baltimore was able to shut Casper out early in that ball game, but to come back and catch 3 touchdown passes certainly has to mark him as the player of that game. Good sign here on the field as Cunningham is up, and he has to be weak. He spent those 3 nights in the hospital, Jim. I don't imagine he felt good coming in, and to take a shot like that from Tom Jackson, take what little starch there is in him out of it.
Second down and 10 to go from the 45-yard line. 7-7 our score, 4:35 left. Cunningham, a top draft choice out of Clemson. And the supporters of the Iron Crush disagree with the call, naturally. Swan goes to the left, and Stallworth comes out to the right. Bradshaw. Jackson is blitzing. Gets away, fires the ball. It is dropped. Almost caught on what would have been a fine catch by Lynn Swan at the 37-yard line. But again, the Denver Broncos are swarming to the football.
That's about as tough a pass as I think there is to throw for a quarterback. Bradshaw was running to his right. Swan was running back against the grain to the left, which means he has to judge the speed of both the players. Watch Bradshaw coming out here. Actually throws on the run and throws it back to Lynn Swan, who's going the opposite direction. Manages to put it on target. That's an excellent play by Randy Podol, number 21, to strip it out of Swan's hands.
Cunningham with a little oxygen. This is the Mile High City, remember. Both Swan and Stallworth go to the right. It's 3rd down and 10 in a 7-7 ball game. Wire in motion, and Franco Harris not going anywhere. He's lost the football. Lost it again. Jackson picks it up, and is brought down from behind by Larry Brown. And that's the second big turnover for Denver. They scored after a block kick, and now they picked up a ball.
That was number...
to the 10, and Franco Harris is down.
And number 77, Lyle Alzado, who put the stop on him to originally cause the fumble, comes off holding his arm. Let's give you a look at it now. It's Harris on a little draw play, and that's Alzado breaking back inside. Actually knocks the ball loose. Bradshaw gets a hold of it. He pops it loose, and it's Tom Jackson who picked it up on the first bounce, launches himself downfield, almost gets into the end zone. Great play by Larry Brown to pull him down from behind.
Well, they fumbled the ball away twice in their first meeting, and now they fumbled it away here. It has been a blocked punt and a fumble that has put Denver in business. That is Odegaard. A very big Chuck Knowles said they had to avoid the turnover has cost them in this ball game. And the Iron Crush. Weiss is coming back on to hold limping. The Orange Crush is out in front. And you can say it's the Orange Crush that is out in front because it's the defense that's done it.
They sure set up that touchdown, but I'll say this, I don't think there's a team in football that takes advantages of their opportunities any better than the Denver Broncos. You've seen it twice today. 2 big turnovers, 2 breaks. They've managed to get those 7 points on the board both times.
Weiss holding, Jim Turner, the kicker. The kick is up to perfect. And again, Denver leads by 7. It's 14-7. Denver, in its first playoff in its 18-year history, out in front of the Steelers, who are in their 6th consecutive playoff. Otis Armstrong, after missing 4 weeks, did not look like he was a bit rusty here.
Beautiful play inside. Mean Joe Green is stunning with number 63 Holmes. And they just did not get the hole closed on the inside. Otis Armstrong doing a great job of picking the hole, breaking free, waltzing into the end zone. Got to be a happy. Let's see it again. There's Green stunning inside. Ernie Holmes, number 63, trying to cover on the backside, just unable to do so. And they got Jack Lambert, which you have to do if you're going to run inside. There goes number 24, Otis Armstrong, into the end zone.
The Denver marches have been of 17 yards after the blocked punt and 10 yards after the fumble. The Steelers earned their 7 points the hard way, going 56 yards before Bradshaw went over from the 1-foot line. But that's the kind of football that Denver plays, as Merlin said. Opportunity knocks, so they open the door and then slam it in your face. That's why they're 12-2.
It's interesting, Jim, you looked at statistics for this Denver Broncos team. They don't really have that many more first downs than their opposition. They don't have that much more yardage, but they do have almost, in fact, more than twice as many points as their competition. The reason is because they know how to get that ball into the end zone.
Jim Smith says this is fine and has it at the 7-yard line. 20, 30, takes a hit, still on his feet, and out to the 35-yard line. 28-yard run back by Jim Smith. 4:04 to go in this half, 14-7. Next Sunday, of course, the AFC Championship game, and as we told you, it's going to be Oakland, either going to Pittsburgh or coming here to Denver. Denver's got the best record in the AFC. At Pittsburgh, since Baltimore, another division win, has been knocked out. Oakland has to go to either Pittsburgh or Denver. And so the time depends on which city they play on. Manor, Grant, and Smith again the front three. And Bradshaw to throw and has at Stallworth, and Stallworth takes a rugged hit at the 41-yard line. I mean a rugged hit. Bradshaw really put a blast on it.
Well, they say that this Orange Crush defense knows how to form. You saw it right there with Stallworth taking shots from 3 or 4 different people. A couple of interesting problems developing on the Denver bench. Steve Foley out with a head injury. They don't know whether he'll be back in. And Alzado has a slight injury to his elbow. We saw him coming off after he reached over and grabbed a hold of Franco's arm to force that fumble on that very important turnover.
Second down. And about 3 to go. Quick. Back to Harris. Franco Harris flying for the first down and will be very close. Louis Wright ran him out of bounds.
We talked about the swarming pursuit of this Denver Broncos team. To get an idea also of their team speed, look how many of those orange shirts are flying to the outside. I'll tell you, again there, you get an indication of the problems that Bradshaw is having driving off that sore ankle of his. Normally, he has enough speed to come inside out and make that tackle comfortably. He wasn't able to get Franco until Franco was almost in for a first down. It'll be a tight 3rd and 1 in there.
4 down linemen in there now on 3rd down and a little bit less than 2 yards to go. Franco Harris has the first down and more, getting out to midfield where it's first down. Clock continues to run, 3:05 left here in the first half.
That's the most unusual play on the inside. Number 72, Moon Mullins, actually pulls from an outside flanker position, comes in to trap Bradshaw on the inside. Do a beautiful job of getting Franco through for the first down. Most unusual play.
Swan goes to the right. Swan's partner, Stallworth, comes to the left. Bradshaw on first down has time, throws it to Flyer, incomplete. Flyer was at the 45, bounced high off his hands. Flyer sat out last week. He didn't play because of a hamstring problem. And Terry Bradshaw today only 5 of 14 for 46 yards. He's had to throw a couple away while under tremendous pressure.
Randy Bradshaw has got to be asking, why me? He's been in on almost every play. They just keep coming at him, hoping that he'll break. On that play, he was isolated one-on-one on the back out of there, and certainly did a fine job of keeping the completion from going to Rocky Bleier.
Franco Harris already has 60 yards rushing the ball. Second down and 10. Bradshaw has time, delivers it to Stallworth, who's got the football inside the 30-yard line. The marker right at the 30. First down as we come close to the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes, 29 seconds to go. And again, Bradshaw, to use your words, Brennan, saying, why me? He was over there again.
Well, they're still picking on that left side. We told you that Steve Foley was out of there, and Randy Podol is coming in his place. Bradshaw doesn't waste any time giving him a challenge over there. And that's actually Jackson, who's right on top of number 82, Stallworth, who certainly has had a great year, his best year ever. Jackson's up on the corner, and Podol is down in his safety.
First down and 10 to go from the 30-yard line. Bradshaw throwing on first down, loops it to Franco Harris, cuts back, and Harris picks up big yardage inside the 25, down near the 22-yard line, where it will be second down and short. Just doesn't look the same without Franco's beard, does it, when he gets up?
I'll tell you, he still looks mighty big, though, when he's running that football at you.
We may not get the next playoff before the 2-minute warning. It's 2:05 to go and counting. The ball is at the 22-yard line, where it is second down and a long 2 to go. And so there's the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go, and Denver's Orange Crush has done the job thus far. Their defense has set up 2 touchdowns, and the Broncos lead. Look, there's an orange plane. It's 14-7.
This road safer for drivers can be dangerous for painters. That's why one painting firm uses a loss prevention program recommended by the Hartford. So now their jobs are safer because the Hartford helps reduce accidents. In fact, there hasn't been a single injury in 9 months. And when losses go down, rates don't have to go up. How could loss prevention help your business? Ask the Hartford and its independent agents, because the best protection is prevention.
For the past 10 years, Dodge has been the fastest-growing truck company in America. One reason is the D100 pickup. It delivers Dodge toughness and comfort. Yet at just $41,447, it's the lowest-priced base pickup built in America. Lower than Ford, lower than Chevy.
Dependable and versatile, beautiful machines. Dodge is into pickups like America's into jeans.
See the best in college basketball as the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on the powerful Kentucky Wildcats. A classic matchup next Saturday afternoon on NBC.
What a way to start our basketball season, isn't it? Notre Dame and Kentucky. You want to see some statistics, or at least hear them? Pittsburgh has picked up 161 yards thus far. Denver, a total of 50. But 27 of those yards have been the 2 touchdown drives after the blocked punt and the fumble recovered. Second down, a long 2 to go. The ball on the 22-yard line and 2 minutes left in the half. Franco Harris gets up the middle, comes back against the grain. That's what he loves to do. Breaks the tackle inside the 10. Harris went out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And that will be another first down. Franco Harris, how many times have you seen and heard people talk about the way he cuts back against the grain and breaks tackles?
Absolutely, probably the best thing that he does. You watch him here, he starts to the right, can see that there's nothing there to be gained, and the Denver defense has reacted so swiftly to the outside that he just cuts it all the way back against the grain. Here's a shot at Jackson coming from the outside. He's actually the contained man, and Franco cuts inside of Jackson. Now watch Jackson come back into your picture, sprinting hard to the outside. It's actually Jackson that finally puts him out of bounds.
On the 3-yard line. First and goal to go. Franco Harris does not get the touchdown. Bradshaw and Thompson are down there. And Harris is awfully close to that goal line, isn't he?
Boy, he's laid up almost on top of it. Could be second down at about half a yard. There's a timeout down on the field for Pittsburgh.
Now, Foley, who was injured slightly, is coming back in, and Podol is looking, and so Podol will come out as we take a look at Harris almost getting the touchdown.
Almost into the end zone, as you said, Jim. Bradshaw and Billy Thompson, the fine safety, in there to make this stop, but not until he laid it up on about the half-yard line. And that's tough territory down in there. I'll tell you, with 2-3 downs probably, going to be hard for the Orange Crush defense to keep the Steelers out of that end zone.
Can you believe it took into the 6th quarter before Oakland could beat Baltimore in the first AFC playoff, and it could be 14-all here at the half of this game. Coverage begins on Monday, January the 2nd, of the Rose Bowl. Kurt and John will be out there, Gotti and Brody, and of course it's Michigan, Kevin Wan against Washington, 7-4, but remember, Washington played very well in the closing weeks of the season. Rick Leach and Hanan Huck will be of Michigan, and of course the Huskies have a fine linebacker, Michael Jackson, and a quarterback by the name of Warren Moon.
It's got to be an exciting time for Michigan. They have been there a few times, but even more exciting for the Seattle people and the Huskies who are coming down from Washington for the first time in many, many years.
Second down, inches to go. Bradshaw took it himself for the first one. There goes Blyer. Here goes Franco Harris. Touchdown. Harris takes it in. This is a drive of 65 yards, starting on the 35-yard line. 2 long drives for Pittsburgh and 2 special team touchdowns set up by the Orange Crush.
And these Pittsburgh Steelers know how to quiet down these 75,000 Denver Bronco fans. That's Bradshaw who's trying to hold Franco out of the end zone. Franco just turns his body around and backs in there.
Dorella tries to tie it up and does tie it up. It is 14-all. It's a flag on the field, but I would assume that is because one of the Broncos was a little bit anxious. We'll let Gene Barth tell us that.
Defense, number 20, offside, point good. We'll penalize on the kickoff.
And that's it. Lewis Wright was the man who was offside trying to block that extra point.
Trying to get that little jump in there, and they did get good penetration, but obviously not a block.
14-14, and the Orange Crush in Denver has gone mad. And I understand that a man who helped put this team together, most of the team together, who is no longer with the ball club, last year's coach John Ralston. And I would assume that John Ralston is looking on right now, and he must have mixed emotions.
I'm sure he's very happy for his players. Ralston, who was my coach in college, Jim, a very interesting man, and did a fine job of putting this team together. Things just were not working that well, and Red Miller sure capitalized on his opportunities to take a ready-made team who had gone 9-5 last year for their best record ever, bring them on to a 12-2 season and their first playoff berth here today. And they're not doing badly today.
Well, as Frank Morton said, I walked into the office when they traded for me, and Red Miller said, we got a 9-5 team that can go places, and I want you to help us. And Morton said, that's my kind of man. There's Franco Harris without the beard, but with 81 yards rushing and a touchdown already in this 14-14 game.
Losing that Harris doesn't seem to have taken any strength away from him. He's sure been powerful out there. I think he's got 88 yards so far on the day, Jim.
From the 40, because of the 5-yard penalty, Durella will kick it off from the 40. And Upchurch and Schultz are deep. Durella line drives just a little bit, and Upchurch takes him to the 4-yard line. He's a very dangerous man, and then runs into Cousineau, the former Cincinnati Bengal. He knocks him down at the 21-yard line. Well, it'll be 1st and 10 to go. We talked about the Orange Bowl, or rather the Rose Bowl. Let's talk about the Orange Bowl, Merlin, where you and I will be. Oklahoma and Arkansas. And Arkansas is having some problems now. Lou Holtz is standing fast. Perhaps, we don't know. That'll be worked out by the time they get down to the Orange Bowl, but we do know one thing, Oklahoma. Oklahoma ball club.
Oh, they are tough. That's going to be a fine game, Jim. I'm looking forward to being there with you.
From the 24-yard line where they've marked it. 1:36 left in the half of a tie ball game. Otis Armstrong almost hit in the backfield, and now is hit in the backfield by Jack Lambert. The first man to get him was L.C. Greenwood, and then Lambert put him down.
Excellent inside-out pursuit by Lambert, but it was Greenwood who really cut in underneath Otis and kept him from getting quickly to the outside and made it possible.
Armstrong did have that 10-yard touchdown run, but Rob Lytle started today, and he is in.
He has a neck problem, and apparently they're concerned enough about it that they have kept him on the sideline. I could see him walking around down there, though. It's possible we'll see him later in this game.
It was a tremendous hit that he took that put him on the sideline.
By number 68, L.C. Greenwood, as a matter of fact.
2nd down and 15 to go. And Armstrong isn't going anywhere. L.C. Greenwood is there again. And this is a loss back to the 16-yard line.
Probably the best defense against a draw play is a stunt by the tackle in the end. You see Green going to the outside, L.C. Greenwood going to the inside. Nobody to block Greenwood. He just sticks Armstrong in the backfield and knocks him down. Watch Joe Green here. He's a little unhappy. Watch. Whoo!
Oh, my.
That's Paul Howard, number 60, taking a shot right there. And I don't know what Joe is thinking about, but that's Howard who's on the ground. And I think maybe somebody is being escorted off the field here.
It is Joe Green who's going off the field. I don't know if he is being called off the field. He has not left the field yet, or whether he was sent off the field. But he is a catalyst on defense, and they might be just talking defenses to him over there, but that is Joe Green, and look at this. That's what was known as a right uppercut, folks.
Well, I tell you, he put Paul Howard right down to the ground, and he hasn't moved yet. And that just doesn't have a place out on the football field.
And there's been no flag thrown whatsoever that I have seen. They're still talking on the field, and Green apparently is on his way back in. They're calling him in, and Howard is still down. You know, they call Joe Green Mean Joe Green, and yet most people will tell you he's one of the most gentlemen around.
He is a very gentle man.
Eloquent in his speech, but on that particular occasion,
he hates to be held, Jim, and I think maybe Paul Howard had a hold of him, and Joe reacted with that punch. But as I said earlier, I just don't believe that kind of thing has a place in the game. It's tough enough just playing by the rules without swinging those fists on the field.
Red Miller is making his feelings known to Gene Barth, the referee. And Howard is coming off. Well, there are a few words being said out there, aren't there? Steve Tindler, our #1 draft choice. They've got big hopes for him out of Boston College. Will take Howard's place.
Mike Mottler over there explaining things to Joe Green, saying, hey, that's not the way we play the game.
We have 47 seconds to go in the half. It's 14 apiece. Well, the spotlight is on you, Joe. Everybody around the country has seen it.
Not the kind of thing you'd have like to have recorded for posterity, Jim.
No. Morton looks like he's about, whether he's asking what the time is in or he wants another time. He looks a little confused. Turned around to the referee who's set up behind there. And now, well, he's still talking to him. He might look at the fact that the clock is down to 0 already and wants a 30-second clock. Well, he let it run down. But nothing went off the clock up here. It was 47 seconds when Howard was hurt, and it's 47 seconds now. It might be different on the field.
They've moved Steve Schindler in at left guard and moved Tom Glassick, number 62, over to right guard.
Delay a game, violation of the 30-second count, third down.
Well, I think Craig was looking at the clock upstairs, which did not move, and is still not moving, even though the 30-second clock is on again to get it in play after a timeout. That's what it is. So the clock will not start until the ball is snapped. This is Otis Armstrong, and there's a flag down as there's movement in the line, and Armstrong gets out near the 19-yard line.
Looks like Ernie Holmes, number 63, a little eager, jumped to the inside, penetrated the line of scrimmage. Interesting to see what they'll do here, whether they'll take the penalty and run another play or punt it out of there. Probably run another play to run some time off that clock. Yeah.
40 seconds to go. There's your Bronco Mania.
Oh, they're chanting, "We want green." They're not. I don't think I'd want to have 75,000 enemies.
Third down. And 17 to go.
Third down.
Pittsburgh with 2 long drives. Has scored touchdowns by Bradshaw and Harris. And the Orange Crush, which is a defense, has set things up. The special teams blocked a punt that led to a touchdown, and they recovered a fumble that led to a touchdown. Otis Armstrong in a gaggle of people, and down he goes, and the clock continues to run, and the flag goes down again.
And they're talking to me, Joe Green, number 75. I'd say there's some hot people on that field right now. Let's see what they're going to do.
You know, it's an announcer's idea sometimes to say, don't go away, because things will get better in the second half. I don't have to say it.
Personal foul. Let's take a look on the inside. There's Joe on the inside. He's being double teamed by Mottler and 62. There's a little extra activity there between. Ooh. Now it looks like somebody else is swinging, but they marched it off against Joe Green. He's not very happy about that. Looked like Mottler took the swing that time.
Number 75, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, first down.
Well, if I could see that again, I thought I saw Green take a swing before Mottler missed.
Well,
let's see.
There
Green
it is.
shoot with his
There
right
was.
here.
There was.
Right there.
There's another shot. Sure enough. I guess they didn't penalize Mottler because he missed.
First down, and there goes Keyworth trying to get outside, and Lambert goes across the bubble of ball, and Green goes for it, and it belongs to the Steelers. Joe Green gets up with the football. With 26 seconds left, the ball inside the 45-yard line of Denver.
And they're saying cool it on the sideline over there. Here's a shot of Green as he's being blocked on the inside. Excellent pursuit from the big fella as he gets outside. Happens to be right there when the ball pops loose from Keyworth. Picks it up, says, "I'm going the other way." Tom Glassick says, "No, you're not. He's going to bulldog him to the ground."
Talking to Green along the sideline.
That's George Perlis, the defensive line coach, telling him to cool it over there.
First down, Bradshaw goes back, flips is on. Bradshaw steps up, fires for Swan. It is intercepted by Lewis Wright. Otis Escobar Jackson was ripped down from behind at the 20-yard line. Lamar Jackson with 15 seconds left. And we've got a wild one.
Here's a shot of John Stallworth, 82. the intended receiver going downfield. Jackson just read it all the way, didn't move, picked it up, starts to bring it back, loses his footing, but manages to make a few yards, runs the clock down to where we only have 15 seconds in the first half. Here's Chuck Knoll on the sideline. You better believe he's not happy. He'd like to see a few more points on the board. Look at that.
Looks like my boss. First down, 30-yard line. Morton now tries to put something up. Goes long down the sidelines, and the ball is tipped away, intended for Jack Dolman. Jim Allen was down there, and a spill down, but we'll get up. And there's 7 seconds left in this hectic first half. NFL 77. Well, that's some of the highlights of this game. And Terry Bradshaw's wife, who is the figure skater JoJo Starbuck, has been performing at ringside, Rockefeller Plaza. Perhaps she'll be on the ice again at halftime. I wonder if she's watching right now. Her husband, I'm sure she is.
I bet she's watching with great interest. They'll also have an interview with the two heroes of that Oakland win. Fine tight end Dave Casper and, of course, excellent quarterback Kenny Stabler.
14 apiece. And this is Frank Morton is going to fall down, and they'll just touch him right there as 2 seconds, 1 second. Wow, what a first half it has been. Special teams, defense of Denver scored. The offense of the Steelers has scored. It's 14-14. That's the end of the half. Here at Denver, Colorado. On a Merry Christmas Eve.